Alright guys, back with another video. So I got something here from Pierre. It's just quick, we'll go over that very quickly, but then I also have some roast footage to show you people just, giving the Liberal Party a bunch of crap as they deserve. And I know people don't really like it, they think it's divisive and mean, but A, it's true, and B, it's funny. So I understand if people don't want to see that. You have every right to click off after I show the Pierre video or at any time you like. But I'm going to do that as well because I don't really want to make a 2-3 minute video. I hate doing those for you guys. I know sometimes I'm in a rush making videos on break like I am right now, but I still got, a good... Yeah, I can make videos for more than 5 minutes at least, so that way you can have a little bit more entertainment. So Pierre Poilievre says, in last night's debate, Mark Carney openly promoted a company that is owned by the Brookfield fund he managed. Carney's conflict of interest screens with the ethics commissioner didn't stop him from promoting this company. We can't afford a fourth Liberal term. Oops. Okay, and then we'll have a look at this, then we'll talk about it after.
What possible conflict would you have, Stephanie? Stephanie, I'm complying with the rules. I'm complying with the rules in advance.
We have big nuclear companies, including Westinghouse, Candu, and others.
I own nothing but cash and personal real estate.
Yeah, right. See, if that's true, if he really owns nothing but cash and real estate, you can prove that, right? You can have an audit done on you, right? But he won't do it. There's no way he just owns... Like, he obviously was a CEO at Brookfield, which is like a mini BlackRock for people who don't know. What's BlackRock? Well, a company that's trying to own everything. Remember the whole you'll own nothing and be happy? Yeah, that's what BlackRock wants, and that's what Brookfield wants. They want to own everything. And Mark Carney, their leader, who is now the leader of Canada, supposedly, he wants you to own nothing while his companies get rich. And who do you think benefits from that? The Prime Minister. To say he's a walking, talking conflict of interest is an understatement. I mean, the guy's $250 million in debt to China, for crying out loud, and people are like, no, we're not worried about him. My God, it's crazy. But again, if you know anyone, young man, older woman, anyone in between, if they can vote, get them out to vote. If they can't, find a way for them to vote early, and encourage them to vote for Pierre Poilievre, because if we don't get this guy in, we're lost. And I understand what the PPC bros are saying and the people who don't like conservatives or liberals. That's fine. In the past, I would agree with you. But right now, Pierre needs a chance. Because if he doesn't get a chance, then we all know what we're going to get with Mark Carney. And that's destruction of this country. Sorry, let me correct myself. The continued destruction of this country. Well, maybe Pierre Poilievre's just the same. Only maybe. I personally don't think he's nearly as evil as Justin Trudeau or Mark Carney. Maybe Pierre doesn't do the right thing. Yeah, maybe. But it's very likely he's going to be much better than Carney and Trudeau combined. Will he do everything he says? Yeah, probably not. He's a politician. But it's better than a globalist, elitist banker, that I can tell you. Now, let's move on to the roast section here. Voting in Canada explained to even a toddler so that they can understand. Let's have a look.
There's two people that we need to pay attention to this month. The red guy and the blue guy. The red guy, he wants to spend money. You to pay for it. This guy wants to use our resources, our things in the ground, and he wants to sell that everywhere so that you don't have to pay as much money in taxes. These guys have been in power for 9 years and our houses have gone up a lot. These guys want to build more houses so that we can keep the prices down. You guys have had 9 years to do this, but they haven't done it yet. These guys right here, they want to cut the red tape in government. These guys want to keep the red tape. These guys, they love debt. These guys don't like debt. They want to use what we have to sell all over the world so that we don't have debt. And remember, this is for you guys. It's not for me, it's for you guys. Lastly, this guy was never elected by us, okay? He was just put into power. This guy was elected, okay? Does that make sense? Does everyone understand?
Yeah, so we're going to stay here forever?
You know what? Maybe we should just go for ice cream.
And that's the thing, right? Like, you really do have to explain to some people what the voting process is like they're toddlers, right? Like, there's some people who just, they don't understand, right? And they think, well, I like Mark Carney because he's different. No, just explain to them, hey, listen, child, or at least person who has the mind of a child, because if you don't understand this, then I don't know how to help you. But Mark Carney he's not an outsider. He's an insider, which means he was a part of that government unelected as an advisor. And therefore was advising Justin Trudeau on a lot of policies. Advised Chrystia Freeland to shut people's bank accounts down. So if you're thinking about voting for them, you need to give your head a shake. Like, sometimes you do, especially if you're talking to a liberal, you got to explain it like they're kids. It's like their mind stopped developing after they were the age of 5. And then we got something here. Oh, Canada. And it's Carney and Trump. Carney saying Canada will never be the 51st state. And then here he is over here hugging Xi Jinping, saying we're China's 24th province. And that's the thing. Right? And there's a lot of people who are out there saying this, and maybe we're right, maybe we're wrong, but a lot of people right now are worried about Canada becoming the 51st state. Well, it's like, let me ask you something. Right? If you had to choose, let's just say Canada didn't exist. If you had to choose, would you be rather part of the States or China? And you know what I bet? I bet there's a lot of people who would say China. Because they hate this man here, this evil orange man. Well, he's not orange in this cartoon, but we all know what he looks like. He's orange. That's fair. But they're scared of him. The elbows up, the ones who are pretending to be so tough. Imagine thinking you're tough, but you're scared of an old man who paints his face orange. That's who you're scared of, tough guys. Elbows up. Morons. And then this is my favorite. This made my day. You know what? Sometimes you have a rough day at work. People are being a pain in the ass. That's exactly what was happening today. All day. And then I saw this from the pleb. Liberal candidate at a debate asked the crowd, do you really believe Pierre Poilievre can lead this country? The crowd completely erupts in cheers. You guys, I'm going to do this full screen because I want you guys to see this as clear as possible. Let's have a listen.
Do you really believe that Pierre Poilievre can lead this country with what you've seen?
Oh, how embarrassing. Absolutely.
Good for you.
Good for you.
I'm ready, I'm willing, and I'm capable of going to Ottawa to represent your interests.
Yeah, except no one wants you there, jackass. I don't even know who this guy is, but that was hilarious. And that's the thing. A lot of those people who are erupting, you can hear some men screaming, yeah, absolutely, for sure we're going to believe in him. I guarantee you they're not the ones taking the polls. The pleb actually went around at a lot of these rallies, and again, that's not enough sample size to say no one's taking the polls, because obviously some conservatives are taking the polls. But it's mostly older folks. The young men who don't usually vote, they're coming. I think. I really hope so anyway, because if they do, we're going to be okay. If they don't, we're in trouble. But I think they're coming enthusiastically, just like they're showing up to Pierre Poilievre's rallies enthusiastically, and we're going to see a silent majority take back this country on April 28th. Mark my words. By the way, I'll also be live streaming that night, so if you want to join me, we can all celebrate together if Pierre wins. And if Carney wins, then I guess you can watch me be a grumpy dude for a little while until I get pissed off enough to turn off the stream. But either way, if you're happy, why be alone? If you're miserable, why be alone, right? We're all going to cheer together or suffer together. So let me know in the comments too. Are you going to join me on April 28th? I'm going to start the stream just before the election. So let me know if you guys are in or out. Also, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps grow the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back shortly with a new video.